was sitting here in the Nelson house while Papa Rock sleeping while watching The Rifleman. You know, what'd you ask me, Dad? Is that the what?
Is that the beginning or the end of Rifleman today?
That's the end. That was one with Dan Blocker, Haas Kutcher. I met him. Mom took us down to meet him down at WGN Radio back like in the 60s. And sadly, he died a few years later. You know, I remember I was like 5 years old when I met him. Big dick. He said, Lucas, oh, you gonna like Rhoda? And he goes, who is Rhoda? And his brother says, oh, that's Becky's oldest sister. Man, you should watch her eat flapjacks. She could eat a stack like that. Funny, huh?
Yeah.
And now the Rifleman's back on. All right, the Rifleman. You know, like, it's rumored that my brother Phil was born when the Rifleman shot his shot. Because my brother Keith said, we got a phone call from the hospital saying, hello? Yeah, your mom just had a baby boy. You know, right after the Rifleman shot his shot, we got that phone call. So right when the Rifleman shot his shot, he goes, bang, 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 bang. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. The Rifleman, starring Chuck Connors. Dun, 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 dun. So, what do you think of that? Remember Rifleman? Remember the beginning? Yeah.
Too bad.
This is the one with Akam Tamaroff, his greatest role ever. And that's the guy who was in that vampire movie there. That guy, talking to Mark. And it's the Akam Tamaroff. Remember, he was in that movie, The Vulture. You remember the Vulture movie, Dad? You ever see The Vulture with Akam Tamaroff? He turns into like bird monster. You see his feet. Yeah, it's scary. You only see him. You see him near the end. You see his like feet. People die mysteriously, and they're all clawed up. And finally, yeah, he's got a head like a man. Akam Tamaroff. There he is, right there. He plays that guy. He acts like he's from the old country. His ways are old, and Lucas tells him, if you ask me, Mr. DeBar, says, you belong back, back there as Base says, most of your men agree with me, because he's a bully. He's like he's like pushing his own men around, whipping them if they make a mistake and stuff, and he tries to take over Lucas's ranch, tries to buy it from him, and he goes, it's not for sale. Our ranch is not for sale because that's his home. Because they built that from scratch. They built that. He no one's going to give up his land. He thinks just because he's got money, he can just take over. He thinks he can have whatever he wants, Akam Tamaroff in this episode, he plays DeBarge. He's like a dictator, Well, sleep good, Pop Rock. Happy Veterans Day. It's Veterans Day today. He's a World War II vet, Army. Served Guadalcanal back in the 40s. And I was in the Marines from 76 to 80. Hoorah for the Marines. They didn't name me Corporal Hoorah for nothing. Oh, and I got my Son of Gold shirt on. Look at it. Kevin Scarpino, see? Son of Gold. Son of Gold. Yeah. Nice guy. Hey, there's my brother Phil. A picture. Look at that. Look at that picture of my brother Phil, man. He looks like me. He looks like a Nelson. He's got his mug there, yeah. A Teamster mug, UPS.